I was sitting alone in my college auditorium, still wearing my graduation gown, scrolling through Instagram when I saw it. My entire family, laughing, toasting champagne at some fancy restaurant. The caption read, "Celebrating our gorgeous Vanessa's engagement. Family first." Posted 20 minutes ago, then my phone buzzed. A voicemail from Mom. "Sorry, sweetie, something came up. We'll celebrate later, okay?" That's when I knew I'd never be enough for them. But what they didn't know was, I didn't need them anymore. My name is Maya. I'm 22. And that day was supposed to be the proudest moment of my life. I was the first person in my family to graduate from a 4-year university, environmental science, partial scholarship. I worked 2 jobs the entire time, campus library during the week, weekend barista shifts at the coffee shop on Main Street. I paid my own rent, bought my own textbooks. Did it all while maintaining a 3.9 GPA. My mom always compared me to my cousin Vanessa. Same age, completely different lives. Vanessa was an influencer, or at least she called herself one. She had maybe 50,000 followers, posted selfies in designer clothes her parents bought her, dated guys with trust funds. She'd started community college twice and dropped out both times. But she was the star, the pretty one, the one everyone loved. I wasn't flashy. I wasn't loud. I was just determined, hardworking, quiet. I wasn't the one posting selfies in designer clothes or dating someone with a trust fund. But I had something they didn't see coming. That day, sitting in that auditorium, I watched everyone else hug their families, saw parents crying with pride, saw little siblings holding flowers. My phone kept buzzing, the family group chat. Fam, 47 unread messages, all about Vanessa's amazing news. If you've ever been pushed aside by family, subscribe right now and tell me where you're watching from. I need to know I'm not alone in this. I almost called them that night. Almost begged them to explain why they'd chosen her engagement lunch over my graduation. But then my phone rang with a number I didn't recognize, and everything changed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to that dorm room. I drove back to campus in silence, still wearing my cap and gown. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely grip the steering wheel. I walked into my tiny dorm room, barely bigger than a closet, and sat on my bed. The gown felt heavy, suffocating. I opened the family group chat. 47 messages. Aunt Linda, our girl is going to have the wedding of the century. So proud. Mom, Vanessa, you've always known how to make this family shine. I stared at my phone. Then I typed, I graduated today. Summa cum laude. I hit send. I watched the little dots appear and disappear. Appear and disappear. 11 minutes passed. Finally, Mom. Oh, honey, congrats. We'll do dinner next week. That's it. Then Aunt, Linda. That's nice, Maya. Hey, everyone, look at this venue Vanessa found. I couldn't breathe. I called my mom. She picked up on the 4th ring. Maya, don't be dramatic. Vanessa's engagement is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You'll have other graduations. Other graduations? Mom, this was my college graduation. 4 years. You know what I mean. Besides, you didn't even tell us it was important to you. I sent you the invitation 3 months ago. Well, we can't be everywhere. You're independent anyway. You don't need us like Vanessa does. I hung up. My chest hurt. My eyes burned. Then I made the mistake of opening Facebook. There it was. Posted an hour ago. Mom's smiling face, sitting at a table with Aunt Linda, Uncle Joe, Vanessa, and her fiancé Brandon. The caption, wouldn't miss this for the world. Our family love, such a hard proud aunt. Wouldn't miss this for the world. She wasn't even Vanessa's mom. She was just a guest. An aunt. and she'd still chosen it over her own daughter's graduation. Vanessa had commented, "Thanks for coming, Aunt Diane. So glad everyone could make it." I grabbed my graduation cap and threw it across the room. It hit the wall and fell behind my desk. I didn't pick it up. 2 days later, I drove home. I was still living at my mom's house, about 40 minutes from campus. I'd been planning to move out once I found a job. I walked through the front door and stopped. Mom, Aunt Linda, and Vanessa were in the living room. Wedding magazines covered every surface, cake samples on the coffee table, fabric swatches pinned to poster boards. Vanessa didn't even look up. "Oh, hey Maya, can you move? You're blocking the light for my ring photo." I stepped aside. Mom smiled at me like nothing had happened. "Maya, want to help us pick centerpieces?" I opened my mouth to say something about graduation, about my job search, about the interviews I had lined up. But Aunt Linda cut me off. "That's nice, sweetie. Vanessa, tell her about the destination bachelorette." Vanessa launched into a story about Tulum, about chartered boats and private villas. Mom handed me a cupcake from the tasting. Like that was participation. No one asked about my ceremony, my professors, my thesis, my plans. Nothing. That weekend was the family dinner at Grandma's house, the one tradition we never skipped. I showed up early, helped Grandma set the table. Vanessa arrived an hour late in a new designer dress. She held her hand up the second she walked in, showing off the ring again. Uncle Joe laughed. "Finally, someone in this family is doing something worth celebrating." My younger brother Daniel, he tried. He really did. "Maya got summa cum laude. That's like really smart, right?" Aunt Linda laughed. Actually laughed. "Degrees are cute, but Vanessa's building a real future. She's got 50,000 followers now." I set my fork down. "I have 3 job interviews next week. Real careers." Aunt Linda smiled at me like I was a child. "Sweetie, don't be jealous. Not everyone is meant to be the star." Grandma patted my hand. "Maya, dear, maybe you could do Vanessa's makeup for the wedding. You're so practical." Mom nodded, smiled, didn't say a word in my defense. Vanessa leaned forward, fake sweetness dripping from her voice. "Honestly, Maya, you should be happy for me. This is bigger than some college thing." I excused myself, said I needed air. I sat in my car in Grandma's driveway for 20 minutes, staring at the steering wheel. I didn't cry. I was too angry to cry. 3 days later, Mom called me. "We need to talk about your job search." I sat up. Maybe she actually cared. "Did you want to hear about my interviews?" "Actually, Vanessa needs help planning the wedding. It's in 6 months and she's overwhelmed." My stomach dropped. "What?" "You're not doing anything that can't wait. Family comes first, and this is Vanessa's moment." "Mom, these are career opportunities. I worked 4 years for this." "And you'll have plenty of time for work later. Vanessa only gets married once. Don't be selfish." She hung up. 10 minutes later, Aunt Linda texted me. A list. 47 tasks. Maya can cover since she's got free time. Assembling 150 wedding favors, creating a seating chart, being on call for dress fittings, coordinating with vendors. No one offered to pay me, thank me, or even ask if I was willing. That night, I sat in my dorm room staring at my email inbox. What they didn't know, what they never bothered to ask, was that I wasn't waiting on any job. I already had one. A week before graduation, I'd gotten a call from Dr. Reina Ortiz, my environmental science professor, my mentor. She'd forwarded my senior thesis to a contact at Pacific Conservation Coalition, a nonprofit based in Seattle. Their lead recruiter called me the next day. They offered me a junior researcher position, with relocation stipend, full benefits, a real salary. The unexpected call I mentioned earlier, that was it. I'd been sitting on the offer letter for a week, unsure, scared. It would mean leaving my family behind. But after everything, I opened the email again. The position started in 6 weeks, exactly 2 weeks before Vanessa's wedding. I hovered my mouse over the accept offer button, but I didn't click. Not yet. Instead, I opened a folder on my laptop. Screenshots. The family group chat ignoring my graduation message. Mom's Facebook post with the timestamp during my ceremony. Aunt Linda's task list. Every dismissive comment. Every time I was erased. I wasn't building a case. I was reminding myself that leaving wasn't betrayal. It was survival. The next week, I met Dr. Ortiz at the campus coffee shop. Told her I needed advice. She took one look at my face and knew. You got the offer. So why do you look like someone just died? I broke down. Told her everything. The missed graduation, the wedding exploitation, the constant comparisons to Vanessa. Dr. Ortiz didn't interrupt, just listened. When I finished, she asked me one question. Maya, if you stay, will they ever see you? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Probably not. She nodded. I left my family's expectations behind when I was 23. To pursue conservation work. I've never regretted it. She leaned forward. Your family will either come around or they'll prove they were never your people to begin with. But don't shrink yourself to find out. That night, I clicked accept offer. My start date was locked in, 4 weeks away. Meanwhile, Vanessa created a wedding Instagram account, posted constantly, tagged me in bridesmaid dress polls. I'd never agreed to be a bridesmaid. Mom assumed I'd be at every event, dress shopping, venue walkthroughs, cake tastings. I started saying no, claimed work stuff. Aunt Linda texted me. What work? You're not even employed yet. Vanessa threw a fit when I missed a bridal brunch. She's literally ruining my wedding and it hasn't even happened yet. Mom called me. Why are you being so distant? This isn't like you. Then the package arrived. FedEx. Official relocation documents from Pacific Conservation Coalition. It was sent to my mom's house, my permanent address. Mom opened it. By accident, she claimed. She called me immediately. Panic in her voice. What is this? You're not actually considering moving, are you? I took a breath. I got the job, Mom. I start in 4 weeks. You can't. Vanessa's wedding is in 6 weeks. You're a bridesmaid. I never said yes to that. Silence. Then. Maya, if you leave now, don't bother coming back. The family scheduled an emergency dinner at Aunt Linda's house to talk sense into me. I walked in to find everyone. Mom, Aunt Linda, Uncle Joe, Vanessa, Grandma, even Daniel looking uncomfortable in the corner. Vanessa sat at the head of the table, like it was her courtroom. Aunt Linda started. Maya, we need to discuss your decisions. You mean my job? Vanessa's voice was sharp. You mean your abandonment. This is my wedding, Maya, the biggest day of my life. Congratulations, I'm really happy for you. Then stay. Prove it. Mom jumped in. Sweetie, jobs come and go, but family, we're forever. You can find another position later. I stayed calm. This isn't just a job. It's a career I earned. And it starts in 4 weeks. Uncle Joe leaned back in his chair, condescending. Let's be real, Maya. What are you really running from? A little responsibility? Responsibility? Like being voluntold to work for free on a wedding I wasn't even invited to help plan until you needed labor? Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. Performative. Fake. I included you. I made you a bridesmaid. I pulled out my phone, opened my notes app. No. You tagged me in Instagram polls. You added me to group chats. You never once asked me. I started reading. April 10th. Vanessa assigns me 47 tasks via text. No, please. No, thank you. April 12th. Mom tells me to decline out-of-state work to be available. Doesn't ask about my graduation once. April 17th. Aunt Linda calls my degree cute in front of the whole family. The room went silent. Mom's voice cracked. We didn't mean it like that. You didn't even come to my graduation, Mom. You chose a lunch for someone else's kid over your own daughter's college graduation. Vanessa stood up. Angry now. Oh my God, are you still on that? It was one day. My voice broke, but I kept going. It was my day. The one I worked 4 years for. And you didn't even say congratulations until I shamed you in the group chat. I opened my screenshots, turned my phone around, showed them the group chat. 47 messages about Vanessa, 0 about me. Showed them Mom's Facebook post. Wouldn't miss this for the world. Time-stamped during my ceremony. Showed them Aunt Linda's message calling me jealous. Grandma looked down, ashamed. Maya, I didn't realize. None of you did, because none of you ever asked. Mom stood up, tried to hug me. Okay, we messed up, but you don't have to leave. We can fix this. I stepped back. By doing what? Pretending to care about my life for a week and then going back to normal? Vanessa's voice was spiteful. Fine. Go to Seattle, but don't expect an invitation to my wedding. I smiled. Calm. I wasn't expecting one anyway. I pulled an envelope from my bag, placed it on the table, my job offer letter, printed. I wanted you to see it, not because I need your approval, but because I needed me to see that I don't. Uncle Joe scoffed. You're being ridiculous. This is family. I walked toward the door. No, this is a group of people who only call me family when they need something. I opened the door. Mom called after me. Maya, don't do this. I looked back. One last time. I already did. 4 weeks later, I was standing in my new apartment in Seattle. Small, but mine. It overlooked the water. I could see the harbor from my tiny balcony. I was wearing my Pacific Conservation Coalition badge, unpacking boxes, building a new life. My phone buzzed all day, the day of Vanessa's wedding. Texts from Mom, Aunt Linda, even Grandma. I turned it on silent, didn't read them. Dr. Ortiz came by that afternoon, brought coffee, helped me unpack. How are you feeling? I thought about it. It's hard, but I don't regret it. And I didn't. I'd made friends at work. My research was already being recognized. My supervisor called me a natural. For the first time in my life, I felt seen. A week later, I got a voicemail from Daniel. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't say anything at that dinner. You were right. I'm proud of you. I saved it. Mom tried one more time, via email. Everyone's asking where you are. This is embarrassing. I didn't respond, but I didn't delete it either. Just archived it. That night, I stood on my balcony, looking at the Seattle skyline. The city lights reflected on the water. For once, their silence didn't hurt me. It freed me. I finally understood I never needed their approval. I just needed my own. I smiled, took a deep breath, and went inside to prep for my first major project. If you've ever had to choose between your dreams and people who couldn't see your worth, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from. I read every single one, I promise. And if this story hit home, hit that subscribe button. There are too many of us out here who've been made to feel small by the people who were supposed to lift us up. Your story matters. Your success matters. And you don't need anyone's permission to chase it. I'll see you in the next one. And hey, wherever you are tonight, I'm proud of you.